Hey Emma,
Hi,
how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
That's good. Yeah, really good. I have the fantastic opportunity for everyone to be able to share in Emma's awesomeness. Emma Martin, she has a diploma of nutrition and she has written an amazing book on the back. What's the book called again? Please remind me.
The F word.
Okay, I'm not allowed to say that, so that's why I thought you better say it. The
So
F
it's
word.
actually Confessions of a Cheesecake Lover, small
Oh,
changes
okay.
for extraordinary results using keto and low carb.
And you've written this book on the back of the fantastic results that you got after being using the ketones for, was it 3 odd years? I think that from memory. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yep.
you changed your lifestyle in essence after being hugely skeptical. Obviously, you hear people and the amazing results people get, but it's hard to really understand it until you go through it yourself.
Yeah.
So that was your journey.
Yeah.
And you've come out the other side. And how long now have you been a lover of ketones and sharing with the community, the world?
Yeah. So 3 years ago, actually
Yeah.
more than that, three and a half
Yeah.
maybe.
Okay.
And yeah, you're right. I was massively skeptical because I tried everything. I think I've fallen off more diets than the whole world put together. So, and I only really started drinking ketones because I thought I could eat donuts at the same time.
Oh,
So,
hilarious.
which, clearly ketones cut your cravings. I mean, you know how that works. And all of a sudden I was making these changes and I felt really good. And my waistline started to shrink and my brain lit up. And yeah, I'm like, wow, how's this work? So with the power of the community that we have, I'm like, oh my God, people need to hear about this. So yeah, 3.5 years later and
Yeah.
book and yeah.
Yeah, what a journey. What a great legacy that you have with that book. And I dare say there's probably a few more in there.
In the book?
No, in you.
Oh, a few more books?
A few more books in you?
Well, actually, I would have to really think about what I'm going to write about. I wrote that because people need to know that the food pyramid was wrong.
Yeah.
Like our food pyramid is broken. And what we're taught is so incorrect. And there are, including you, so many of us that have seen that when you turn the food pyramid on its head, your face clears up, your waistline shrinks, you have more energy, and we're doing exactly what we were told not to.
Yeah. Well, that's sort of where we want to go to with today's talk. Because we want to, that's what we thought was the mainstream. That's what we taught from a young age. But we want to just debunk a few myths of our own. Forget the food pyramid, but we want to debunk keto. Please. Yep. I don't know why I'm doing a pyramid, but I am.
Because the pyramid should be like that.
I know. I'm trying to do it. Yeah. Okay, so basically we have some myths busted with Emma Martin. So that's today. All right. So typically we'd sort of look at about half an hour, but obviously we want to try and cram them in and let you flow with all the answers and be able to share as much information as we can, because people are getting onto these Facebook groups and their eyes are being open. They're able to share them. And yeah, we're changing lives, and that's what we want to do. So let's start. Okay. So I've got 10 questions for you, Emma.
Okay.
All right. So the first one here is, can you eat as much fat as you want? That seems to be one of the myths around keto.
Okay, well, firstly, fat isn't going to kill you. Fat is for satiety. So fat activates leptin, which is our satiety hormone. And most of us have spent the last 60 years being told that we shouldn't eat fat. But I'll give a caveat with that. If fat loss is a goal for you, the more fat in your diet, the less of your own fat you will burn. But when you are starting keto, fat is super important, and that fat brings satiety, balances your hormones, means that you're not craving. Like, you think about it, you could probably eat a packet of jelly snakes or a packet of Tim Tams or a packet of chocolate biscuits if you're somewhere else in the world and you don't know what a Tim Tam is, but you couldn't eat 2 big steaks.
Yeah.
So sugar bypasses the satiety hormone leptin. So yeah, that's the answer to the fat question.
Yeah, I love it.
No.
Yeah, good, because I love a bit of fat in my ghee, my butter, my cream.
Yeah.
Don't cut the fat off the steak or the chops.
Yeah, well, what I would say probably is that it depends on the kinds of fats. So, if you're eating all the things you mentioned, they're natural. What happened in the 70s is that we brought in all these man-made fats, which are extracted from seeds with chemicals, and that creates an inflammation response.
Yeah.
So, and raises insulin, blah, 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 blah.
And just while we're on the topic of fat, because we tend to, especially when cooking, we tend to relate fat with oils. So I know that you've spoken before about the oils that we basically should be opening the cupboard and just putting the bin there and swiping them in. Which ones are those, Emma?
So they're highly inflammatory. Basically canola, ditch it. And actually, while I'm speaking about that, fast food restaurants cook mostly in canola because it's cheap. And, what they told us was to switch over to all these things. So get rid of canola, sunflower, safflower. Good oils would be olive oil, the dripping that grandma used to collect, cook in butter, and those kind of things. Those kind of oils don't have the inflammatory effect like canola and all your, any of your clear oils, basically, apart from macadamia, coconut oil, and avocado oil, sunflower oil, olive oil, they're good ones.
Ditch that one.
Ditch that one.
Yeah.
Actually,
all right, thank you.
If you're in the Keto Life group, you can search oils and it'll actually bring up, or pantry clean out, it'll bring up the list.
I don't know if you know of an ad that used to be on telly. It was, their slogan was "Oils ain't oils." Yeah. That was to do with car oil, but basically same thing. Oils ain't oils. Yeah.
With the same thing in your car.
It is. Yeah, that's it. All right. Number 2, myth number 2. Do you have to do intermittent fasting when eating a ketogenic diet?
No, you don't. It depends on your goals. So if fat loss is a goal for you, then you may want to introduce some intermittent fasting, which is just pushing out your eating window. Well, it's actually narrowing your eating window. So you're eating maybe for 6 or 8 hours, but you're fasting for the rest. And the benefits, not only for fat loss, the benefits for health are unbelievably good because you're resting your digestion. We weren't born to eat all the time. So the answer to that myth is no, you don't, but you'll get some massive benefits if you do.
Yeah, good. I like intermittent fasting. It suits me. Okay, so myth number 3, you can't eat any sweet treats. I think people start freaking out. Like, what?
Yeah. And the thing is, there are so many replacements now. So obviously keto, you're cutting out sugar and you're cutting out carbs, which are, well, you're not cutting them out, but you're reducing them. And, obviously that's a bit scary to some people, including me when I started. I'm like, what do you mean I can't eat donuts?
You got to switch the brain. It's hard. Yeah.
And there are so many good replacements. I love erythritol, especially the powdered erythritol. So we'll make, I just made a cheesecake yesterday using stevia and powdered erythritol. And, stevia isn't the wicked thing, the taste isn't as yucky as it was 10 years ago. You can get the liquid stevias are great. Yeah. So finding the sugar replacements. And the thing with sugar and carbs are sugar. Make no bones about that. Carbohydrates are divided and processed down to sugar in the body, which causes an insulin response because you have blood sugar. So the insulin comes in and it's the street sweeper and it packages it all off and it stores it in your cells, in your fat cells. When you're cooking sweet treats on keto, you're using replacements that don't spike blood sugar. So the world famous cookie dough balls.
I'm yet to have them. I'm yet to try them.
They're so good. Yeah. They're literally like almond meal, a block of butter, softened, powdered erythritol, and some chopped up very dark chocolate. So good.
Well, see, when I started embarking on my keto journey, it was actually when we did the Sugar Smart September. was sort of, I mean, it was around then when I came across all these amazing recipes, and I was using the different sweeteners and, then the monk fruit sugars and things. And I was finding that I was eating them a lot. So I think that's my personality. I'm like an all or nothing person. So I have to really, and that's why I'm thinking, if I try those bomby things that you're making, I would be all over it and be making them all the time. So I think I just have to step back and just, have someone else make them for me and then try them, because I'm terrible.
Well, I think that's a really good point. I mean, if fat loss is a goal for you and it is sabotaging, like if you're plateauing constantly, then you might like to try cutting out fat bombs.
Yeah.
Because, there is such a thing as too much dietary fat. You still want to, fat loss is a goal. You want to be burning your own fat. Yeah. So in maintenance phase, once you've been doing keto a few years, it might be a bit different. But you're right. Yeah. But getting off sugar, I think, is actually really important.
Yeah, definitely. For our brains. I love it.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So myth number 4, is being in ketosis long-term detrimental to our health?
Oh, yeah, it'll kill you. No. Well, when you Google keto, you're going to
You heard it here, people.
Okay, so I mean, you find out about this lifestyle and you're like, yeah, right. And you start Googling it, and all of a sudden you're going to die a fat, clogged, kidney-ridden death. No, it's not detrimental. It's incredibly good, healthful. We were designed to eat. You think about how nature packaged our fat and our protein. Nature didn't package Tim Tams or chocolate biscuits. Like, yes, it gave us sugar cane or, different kind of sweet things, but it packaged it like seasonally. You think about even berries. Yeah. Like, berries are seasonal. Like, we weren't supposed to have them all year round. Like, we were supposed to pick them off bushes in spring and summer. And we'd burn those as fuel. And that was our kind of backup plan. We'd store the rest for winter when things were scarce. Yeah. So keto works basically by lowering blood sugar, lowering insulin response. So you are troubleshooting a great stack of health issues at the same time. And anyone who's ever done keto for a while will find that their bloods are better, their cholesterol improves. Not that cholesterol's a thing really, but that's not what the health professionals all say. So no, it's incredibly helpful. One thing I would say, there's a little bit of a caveat with that. You really want to make sure you're having enough electrolytes and enough water. Clearing out toxins. Yeah. It's so important. So electrolytes can either be flakes or pink salt, but that's super important. Potassium, magnesium for inner health, particularly kidneys.
Yeah. Because we go to the toilet a lot too, don't we?
Yeah. Because you've got to take stuff out, right?
Yeah, that's it. And you have to replenish it all. Yeah. All right. Okay. We are getting through these. This is awesome. Thank you. Okay. So ketoacidosis and ketosis are the same. Question mark.
Oh, well, to start with, I mean, they've got the same first word.
Yes. I knew there was some similarity.
So nutritional ketosis ranges in millimoles, which is a blood measurement, from 0.5 through to about, say, 5, 6. Ketoacidosis is a very different thing, even though they sound the same. Ketoacidosis is uncontrolled diabetes 1, where your ketone levels raise ridiculously so where the body can't process them. And it is life-threatening. Can you do that with a keto diet? Not at all. You would actually have to be like somewhere, like a way higher ketone levels than what you can actually get on the keto diet. Like, even if you do, say, a 60-hour reboot, I mean, my ketone levels would be maybe 5, 6. You'd have to be double that, like way higher to be in ketoacidosis. So that comes where diabetic 1, and this is not medical advice at all. Talk to your doctor if you've got any of those issues, but uncontrolled diabetics can go into ketoacidosis, and yes, it's life-threatening, but definitely very different.
Okay, thank you for clearing that up, because yes, they do sound the same.
Yeah, they do. So different.
All right. Yeah, well, I'm glad we've cleared that up. Thank you. All right, so calories, are we counting them on a ketogenic diet?
Well, have you heard of eat less, move more? It's so freaking wrong. It's not funny. I haven't personally counted calories over the 3 years. I have tracked for a couple of days at a time to see, because when I started, I'm eating all this fat, right? And I'm like, oh my God, if this doesn't work, I'm going to be the size of a house. So like, within a couple of weeks, I just started tracking on Carb Manager or Chronometer and just tracking what I was actually eating for a few days. But other than that, I haven't really calorie counted at all. And I think the best thing about that, like the best advice I was given was from this group: eat when you're hungry, and eat to satiety. If you're eating sugar, remember what we were talking about before, sugar bypasses the satiety mechanism. So that doesn't count. So if you are eating carbohydrates, then maybe you would need to count. But the fantastic thing about keto is you're eating all this healthy fat and protein. So you actually almost can't. Like, I don't know about you, but I find I'm so full.
Yeah, exactly. I
can't even think about food.
Yeah. With regard to just talking about the fat, the protein, and the carbs, what is the general ratio? This is not in my questions, but I just thought, well, let's just throw it out there just so people can have some understanding. Yeah.
I think if you're going to do strict keto and you're doing it perhaps for a fat loss, or you want to be in ketosis, if you're not having ketones, you probably do need to be a bit stricter. So if you're just doing a straight out keto diet, you might need to track. But it's roughly 70% fat. So, it sounds like a lot. 25% protein, so palm size protein, and the rest is in carbohydrates, but they need to be leafy or vegetable based carbohydrates. So we can actually get sugar and glucose. I'm trying to say glycogen and glucose out of the same word. We can get glucose out of protein. So we actually don't, you'll hear people say, oh, you need carbs. It's rubbish. You actually don't. Your body can make glycogen out of the glucose in protein.
So, all right. Thank you. Okay. So number 7. Keto is only for losing body fat.
Wow. Well, that's kind of what I thought when I started.
I think that's where people get on it. That's why I think it's probably one of the most Googled diets. Yeah, I think that's probably where that comes from.
Yeah, and you're right. I mean, most of us came because we were attracted for the fat loss.
Yeah.
But what they don't tell you is that you're going to be bouncing out of bed. You're not going to be food hunting. Your brain lights up, your skin clears up, you age backwards. Like, I don't know if you're seeing it, but I'm watching people get younger by the minute, like almost by the day. You can see them thing when they're on keto. And if you look at anyone doing keto, like they've got this freaking glow. But brain health, like you've probably heard that diabetes 3 is a glycated brain. Like, so brain health, Alzheimer's, dementia, like the research around keto and brain health is so exciting. And women's issues like menopause. My daughter's much nicer now. I am too, so it balances.
Is it because you're balanced? Because that's how she's nicer?
Yeah, both.
Yes, I can agree. Yeah.
It is. It's a thing, isn't it? So she's calmer.
Yeah.
But she also has the space to think. So she's keto too. She's been keto since kind of I have. And I've just, it's balanced her. She's going to hate me. She's 17. She's never going to see this.
True.
But it's balanced her cycles. It's balanced her moods. And when she sticks to it, her skin's clear. I can always tell when she's been sneaking some sugar because she starts to get the face stuff again. So, I don't know. Did I answer the question?
Yeah. No, I think we were talking about losing body fat is being a ketosis is just about losing body fat. But there is so much more. There is so much more.
It's been proven to treat anxiety, depression, and all of the mood function disorders. And it just it puts the zip back in your brain. Super exciting.
Yeah. All right, and that brings me to the next benefit, I suppose, of being a ketogenic state is keto for Crossfitters. So it's not only for Crossfitters, is it? Because we know, we benefit just from, you know, being in ketosis, how we get that muscle gain, don't we? Muscle preservation.
So I think, you know, okay, so full disclosure, I have really not done any exercise for 3 years.
There you go. Okay. So it's for normal people too, like us.
Yeah. So, good. You know, eat less, move more. Wrong answer.
Yeah.
I quite literally, I mean, I'm pretty active, but I have not really, I mean, I wouldn't do CrossFit if you paid me, and I'd rather eat my own underpants than go to the gym. I walk most days, and I enjoy the sunshine, and I'll listen to a beautiful playlist and, you know, be happy and whatever. But, you know, the most important thing, and you touched on this, is muscle preservation.
Yeah.
And that's important because ketones are muscle sparing. So the body, you think about it biologically, it wants to protect our muscles. Our fat is a storage. It's an energy storage. It's like a backpack that's got food in it. And the muscles are way more important because that's how we catch our prey. That's how we feed ourselves prehistorically.
Yeah.
So muscle preservation, particularly as we age, is super important because it means that if we have a fall, we have the muscles to catch ourselves.
Yeah.
So we live better, longer.
Yeah. Yeah. Better to have the muscle than the fat.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, that ratio. Yeah.
I'm at the point where I'm like, oh, I better build some of that muscle, dang it.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind going to those CrossFit gyms and just watching though.
Well, fly on the wall.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, just seeing what they're doing. Yeah. Okay, so where are we up to here? All right, so we're at number 9. Okay, you can't drink alcohol on a keto diet.
Well,
what do you think about that?
I think it depends on your goals.
Yeah.
I mean, there are some terrific low carb options now. So if you think about it, your body has to prioritize alcohol.
Yeah.
It technically is a poison.
Yes.
So your liver goes, we got some issues here, and it has to process that alcohol, and it turns it into glycogen and it stores it. So you've heard about fatty liver and The liver is it's kind of our central processing unit apart from our brain. It's the body's system that processes everything, and it has to prioritize it. Now, having said that, we're coming up to the silly season.
Yes.
So if you would like a drink, I'm going to suggest a couple of things. Like your white spirits actually are probably a reasonable choice. Watch your mixes. So you might like to mix with soda water or mineral water. Don't mix it with Coke because, you know, you're just going to have your blood sugar all over the place. And probably not late at night, because if you think about if you're having alcohol late at night, your body then it's in rest mode. And it's literally just going to package it and store it as your food backpack for next year. But I'm not going to say you can't have it. I'm going to say it's going to depend on your goals. And then, you know, there are some amazing low carb, you know, beers and wines. So definitely have a chat to your local, well, we call them bottle-os here.
Yeah, bottle-o, because we're Aussie. Everything we add on to anything. Bottle-o.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So, and I mean, I don't know what they're called overseas, but, you know, your
liquor
local...
shop. Yeah.
What is it?
I don't know. Liquor shop?
Yeah. Wherever you buy wine or whatever. Or you can make like spritzers. So like a half a wine and half soda water. So, and the other thing is, the tip I was given, eat first so that your stomach has a lining. Yeah. And that way it can slow down the sugar response of the alcohol.
You're so smart you're telling me that, because my mum used to always say, make sure you have a glass of milk before you go out, darling. And I never really, I did listen to my mum, but now I'm so much older. I totally get it.
Let's go with cheese.
Yeah.
Cheese and olives.
Yeah, not milk, but I was a teenager. Well, I probably was. Anyway, all right. Now, just before I move on to our last question, just with regard to alcohol, am I, another myth, I suppose, here, but am I correct in saying that once alcohol enters your system, your body basically stops doing any digestion and it just, Okay.
Yep, it has to prioritize.
Yeah, so no fat metabolism at all. So
No.
what we tend to eat when we drink is usually the crisps, and we've got the cheese and crackers, and we've got the dips and the shapes and the whatever else that comes with that coming through into Christmas period and our Christmas parties, etc. So yeah, something to think about.
And I mean, that's a really good point. I think this time of year can be challenging.
Yeah.
If I would, what I generally would do is make up like a plate with, I'll make some Parmesan crisps, some cheese, olives, even those wafer crackers, the real thin ones, like they're pretty good. But if you eat first, you've got that buffer, but yes, your body stops everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Alcohol's a poison.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm not very popular right now.
Yeah, no, it's good. I know. Poison or pleasure, we say. Yeah, choose your poison wisely.
Pina colada, white spirit, coconut. Just need to find a substitute for the pineapple juice, and we're good.
Surely there's a ketone there somewhere.
I'm sure there would be if you Google it.
Yeah. Haven't we got the pina colada? Was it the pina colada the Protones?
I know there's
no, was it? No, it was there was one that I tried. Oh,
the
was
Blue
it
Ocean tastes a little bit
Ocean?
like
Yes.
Actually, that's a really good point. Like ketones,
yes.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I love that flavor. That's and the Ruby Rush.
Yum.
Anyway, you can, if people want to, experiment with those, delicious. I know I've mixed them with some sparkling water on ice. It makes a nice fizz, but it's fun. It's fun. I love it.
I think if you guys search, so this is a carb list of alcoholic beverages, and it's all about the carbs, right? So the carbohydrates and the sugar response. So yeah, most of your gin, rum, vodka, tequila, brandy, whiskey, they're pretty low. It's when you start to get into your dessert wines and coffee liqueurs, all the things I like. Bailey.
Tia Maria, Bailey's.
So,
okay.
Yeah, and I think you guys will find that if you haven't got it, just have a search, because I think it's in the Keto Life group. So, and if you can't find it, let us know and we'll upload it for you.
Yeah, under files,
maybe.
Somewhere. Anyway, just ask Emma. Don't ask me. Ask Emma. Okay. All right. So number 10. I've heard ketones make an expensive urine.
Yeah, I heard that too. And I think that's that's a great question, because I guess you could do a keto diet really strictly and be tracking and really, like, everyone's different in the amount of carbs that their body will process or that their body needs to get them into ketosis. But you know what? The ketones are the best hack ever, because you're drinking them. They're bioidentical. So what that means is the key fits in the lock, especially with the Prove It Nat formula. They're natural. You're not having all this crap that your body's got to process. Your body understands ketones. So, there's ketones and there's ketones, right? There's left-handed, right-handed, and some work and some don't. Some jam the lock, some don't. So obviously in this group, we all tend to use the real stuff. But no, the trick with that is, again, it's going to depend on your goals. Yeah. But when you drink them, your body has ketones, and you can use the ketones to cut your cravings, to help you make good choices before you go out to dinner, to help you make good choices before you go to your Christmas parties or whatever time of the year you're watching this, birthday parties. So, and yes, you will pass some as urine, but they are just the best hack in the whole world. If you were doing a keto diet, it would take you 2 or 3 days to get back into ketosis. You could literally drink yourself back.
Well, let me just say, we could have the ketones. And have you heard of auto urine therapy?
No.
There we go. We're having the ketones and then having the ketones again.
There you go.
Auto urine therapy is a thing.
Perfect.
Anyway, Google that, people. Yeah.
Cool. They're good questions. And it's so true. And I think, when we first look at this, you hear all the keto groups going, it's just expensive way. But I mean, my life changed because of them. Yeah. I am quite literally, and I know yours did as well. Like some people here have done the keto diet and they know how hard it is to be compliant.
Yeah.
If
Doing both of them is the key.
Oh, without a doubt. And it amplifies.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like putting a speaker on what you're already doing. It'll amplify the sound and you get much, much better results. Not only that, I believe the crazy people doing exercise use them as a pre and a post workout.
Yeah.
Not that I would know.
Yeah. Yeah. I have mine before I work out.
There you go.
I do love them. Yeah. Yeah.
Perfect.
All right. Well, that has come to the end. Have I forgotten anything? Have I missed anything? Is there something that you want to add, Emma, as opposed to just your F word book there? Is there something in there that's interesting for us? You know, do you want to read a little bit? Maybe the first page? What have you got there to read for us?
You know, it actually, I wrote this because people need to know about this. Like, people need to understand. And I think when you start looking at keto, it's very complicated. Yeah. So the reason I wrote this is just to demystify it. Yeah. And it's really simple. Keto is pick a protein, pick a healthy fat, and add vegetables. That's how you keto. Yeah. There's not much thought in it, really. No, but it's overcomplicated. And then if you want to, you can add in ketones and use them to stop the food hunt. So I think with this, I'll let you guys in on a little secret. You can get the hard copy, but there's about to be a ebook, and that comes in a couple of days. If you're watching this in retrospect, just reach out to us and we'll help you. But it is Christmas. It is Christmas coming up, isn't it? So it's a great Christmas present. I'll show you this. Okay. So when you start keto and you start yelling about it because of how you feel, and it says, me when I first found keto, who am I kidding? That is me. So, and you know, I'll read you a paragraph. In reality, this kind of had to work. I was 47, getting rounder, especially around my tummy, and I knew I'd be fighting menopause very soon, which would make it more difficult to reduce the number on the scales. What I didn't know at the time was that I had become insulin resistant and my body locked in fat storage mode. It is impossible to burn and store at the same time. Mm-hmm. So on that note, I went through that. That's awesome. That's true. Yeah, I resonate with that. And that's the thing, like, we just don't understand that, and we didn't understand it. So out of everything you guys hear today, I think the one phrase you could take away, if fat loss is a goal for you, insulin is a fat storage hormone. It literally tells your body to hold on to it. When blood sugar's high, insulin's high. So what's our question before we decide what to eat then? Are you going to spike me? Yeah. 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 And then you end up back on that craving coaster. Yeah. My goodness, we could do a whole other Zoom on that. Yeah. Okay, good. All right. But anyway, cool. we'll stop it here. I really appreciate every comment and every answer that you've given us and every laugh. I love chatting with you. And I hope everybody else appreciates it. So everyone, please say thank you to Emma, and we look forward to speaking to you again soon. And happy holidays, happy Christmas, whatever it's called. Thank you. Thank you so much for your time. They were great questions. I appreciate you. So thank you so much. All right. Bye. Bye.